Okay, so we're going to start with the area is equal to the base times the height. So they tell me that the base is 12.3 and the area is 119.31, and we need to find the height. We don't know what that is yet, okay? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to divide 119.31 divided by 12.3, okay? So I'm going to do that over here. I'm going to move the decimal over one time, move the decimal over one time over here too. And 123 is going to go in 9 times, which is 7, subtract, and we're going to get 86, bring down the 1, okay, which is going to go in 7 times. Alright, so the height is going to be 9.7 millimeters. Now we're not going to put the squared because this is not the area, this is just the height, okay? Alright, so for the second one, this time we're going to be doing volume, okay? So I know that volume equals length times width times height, okay? So I have to multiply 9.25 times 4 times 15.75, okay? So when I multiply all that together, okay, I'm going to get 582.75, okay? And then this is letter A. Now I'm going to do letter B. So I'm going to multiply 13.5 times 0.95 times 9, okay? And when I multiply all of that together, I'm going to get 115.425, okay? So it says, which box holds more popcorn? So if you notice, this one is a lot higher than this one. So box A. And then it says, how much more? So I need to actually subtract 582.75 minus 115.425. So I'm going to subtract, and I'm going to get 467.325. So that's going to be my answer here. Alright, for number 3, it says we have a box. So again, volume equals length times width times height. So I'm going to multiply 32 times 9 times 11, okay? And I'm going to get 3,168, and this is going to be inches cubed, okay? Now we have to divide this by 528, so I'm going to do that over here. Okay, so this is actually going to go in 6 times. So 6, how many bags? 6 bags. Okay, we turn it over. Then we're going to find the area of the big rectangle first. So we're going to do 14 5/8 times 10, okay? Now you can multiply this as fractions, or you can change it to decimals and then multiply it that way. I'm gonna leave it as a fraction. So we're gonna multiply this and then add this. Okay. So if I multiply 14 times 8, and then I add 5, I'm going to get 117 over 8 times 10 over 1. Okay, so then I'm going to get 1,170 over 8. And then I have to divide. So I'm going to get 146 1/4. Okay. And then for the smaller one, you have 2.5 times 5, which is the same thing as 5 over 2 times 5 over 1. So we get 25 over 2, okay, which is the same thing as 12.5, okay. Alright, now we have to subtract these two, okay. Now, this is where I'm going to change it to a decimal because it's easier for me to subtract with decimals, but I'm also going to do it with fractions so that you can do it both ways. Okay, so we have 146 1/4, and we're going to do 12 2/4 minus 2/4. Now 2/4 is the same thing as 1/2, except we need to make sure that we have common denominator. Okay, so I'm not going to be able to take 2 away from 1, so I'm going to borrow from here. This is going to be a 5, and then I'm going to add 4/4, which is the same thing as 5/4. So 5 minus 2 is going to be 3/4, okay? And then here I'm going to subtract, and I get 133, okay? So 133 inches squared. Okay. Now you could have also changed it to decimals, which is 146.25, which is 1/4, and then 12.50, which is 1/2. Subtract, and you would have gotten 133.75, which is the same thing. Okay. And the last one, we have an isosceles triangle. So isosceles means that you have two sides that are equal and two angles that are equal. Okay, so it says if the base is 36, so this is 36 inches. Okay, now that means if it's isosceles, okay, then these two have to be the same number, okay? Now, that means that we can cross out letter A and we can cross out letter B. And then the last one, remember to make a triangle the sum of the two smaller sides must be greater than the third side. Okay, so that means that when you add these two numbers together, they have to equal more than 36, okay? So I have to have 19 and 19 here, okay? So that means that D is wrong and C is the correct answer.